I apologise for the late start while we are going over to our technical newfangled toys. As you can see, we are trying our laptops, our tablets tonight, so it's taking a little bit of time to set everything up. But welcome this evening to our Borough Councillor, to our guests, who I will introduce Mr Lloyd Walker to you and his companions, and some members of the public. We have from RDF Mr Colin Gill and Mr Paul Dooley here this evening to give us technical support. So I'd just like to welcome you to this meeting and ask if you've all read the emergency evacuation procedures, which has been on your feet this evening. Should the alarm go off, can we please leave the building by the fire escape outside this room, and the assembly point is on the corner of Queen Street and Reynolds Street, and to that end I hope you've all signed in so that we can account for you in the event of fire. The Council is recording this meeting this evening and it will appear in due course on our website. We have a duty of care to ask if there's any member of the public who doesn't wish to be recorded or filmed anywhere. And I also have to ask if there's anybody else wishing to record this meeting this evening. If you all turn your phones to silent, please, and then Item 1 on the agenda is notice of meeting. Thank you. Item 2 on the agenda is apologies. A, to note any apologies for absence and to receive the reasons for those absences. Gina, please.
Borough Councillor Colin Haddington, family commitment. County Councillor Sam Cross, family bereavement. And Mrs Maureen Prentice, Deputy Councillor, ill health.
Do we accept those reasons for absence? Thank you very much. Item 3, Councillor vacancy. Gina, over to you for this one, please.
Yes, the councillor vacancy will be advertised on the 3rd of January and the closing date will be the 17th of January. Following which all applicants need to be checked that they qualify to meet the criteria for eligibility, and then they will be invited to attend a special meeting of the Town Council on the 30th of January at 7 o'clock, and they will all be asked to give a short presentation on the role and responsibilities of conducting themselves as a by the Town Councillor.
Thank you very much. Item 4 on the agenda is declaration of interest. Members are reminded of the need to consider whether they have a disclosable pecuniary interest or a personal interest as detailed in Appendix A and Appendix B of the Town Council's Code of Conduct, and to declare any items on this agenda. If so, the nature of the interest must be declared at the start of the meeting, and in addition, an attached form must be completed and passed to the clerk. Are there any declarations of interest from members on this? Any items on this agenda? Do you see anything? Of course, you can declare an interest at any point during the meeting if you feel the need arises. Item 5 on the agenda is the North Yorkshire Police Report. Caroline Richmond is not here at the moment. Would you like to defer this until she comes, or accept it as read? She comes. We'll defer it until she comes. Okay, thank you very much. Item 6 on the agenda is public question time. To receive questions on items on this agenda from members of the public, 15 minutes is allocated for question time. Are there any members of the public who wish to ask a question on this point? No? Thank you very much. Right, item 7 on the agenda is the Track Rally Yorkshire 17. To receive a verbal presentation from Mr Lloyd Walker, the event organiser. I can ask you, Mr Walker, please, to speak about this event.
Good evening, all, and thank you very much for inviting me along this evening. Basically, what we'd like to do is bring the rally to Farley to host this, whereby all competitors will be based here. It will bring lots and lots of visitors to the town centre and everything. Basically, the event is the final round of the British Rally Championship and also the final round of the historic Rally Championship, bringing competitors from all over, not just the UK but Europe as well, Last year we had about 165 competitors. Now that's 2 to a car, and there's all their support crews as well, and that can lead to 4 per vehicle, whatever. The intention is to have all these vehicles arrive on the Friday afternoon at various times at the country park, for them to be unloaded from car trailers. A marquee would be set up there for scrutineering to check the cars over before the event, and also tyre trucks, etc., for them to purchase the tyres as usual. In addition to a noise check, which would be at the far end of the country park, away from any residents. From there, the competitors would then travel down at normal speed, and I must emphasise when they're on the road, it's always at normal speed. All the competition takes place up in the North Yorkshire Forest, around Dalby, Crompton, etc. We'd then come down to the Evron Centre for registration, and they would be parked alongside the Crescents, whereby we've had approval for suspension of parking to accommodate the cars. We'd then go into the Evron Centre for registration, and the Evron Centre would also be used for the rally control, which would mean most of the rooms there are occupied for communications, administration, results, various functions which we need to keep the event running. On the Friday night, the historic competitors would assemble and start from the Beach Road, once again being the major attraction for not just locals but visitors from throughout Yorkshire. In the past it's caused quite a lot of interest from the Velveteen Malton. The competitors would then depart from there at about 6:30 on the evening and then go across to the Dalby Forest Complex to compete. They would then finish in the complex. On the Saturday morning, the competitors would then assemble at the country park again to set off at 1-minute intervals, going across to the Yorkshire Forest once again. They'd then return here at 1-minute intervals. I would estimate about 3:15 in the afternoon for the prize presentation, and all the ceremony will finish down on the Beach Road again. From there, they'd then go up to the country park and depart. And I'd estimate by about 8 o'clock in the evening, everybody would be away. But lots of competitors will obviously stay over for the weekend and everything. I think it's a perfect opportunity for you to promote Farley and bring a lot of additional spectators, competitors, visitors in general. But to do this, we've got to promote it jointly. And in return for that, we'd hope that some of the businesses in Farley would support the event by various means. I've sent out circulars, which I think you've all got, giving a brief event overview, and also the opportunities for businesses to promote their company on the Start Arch and various other means. We've got a lot of expense. We reward the marshals for going out there by giving them mugs and little goodies and everything. But obviously that costs money, and in the past we've had companies sponsor the actual drinking mugs, which have been not just a souvenir, but where people meant to keep after the event. I think I've given you a brief description of it all there and everything. Obviously, if the Mayor, Lady Mayoress or anybody would like to come along and flag the cars away on the Friday night, or greet them when they come back in on the Saturday afternoon, opportunities are there once again. We're working with whatever we can to promote Farley, but as I say, we would like some support in return for bringing this to Farley. I'll offer any questions.
Anyone have any questions? Councillor Casey?
Well, not questions. I'm a council rep on the Farley Tourism Association and Chamber of Trade, so if you'd like to give me some information before you leave.
Yeah, I'll give them the card.
I can pass that to the next meeting, which is at the beginning of January.
Yes, okay.
And garner their support. I'm sure they'll be very, very pleased with it.
I think you've got the email address on the bottom of the circular.
Yes.
So I'll give them the card as well, and let's start working together.
Okay.
Councillor Mike Cockrell's already been in touch with me. I don't think he's here tonight.
Yeah,
Oh, right,
yeah.
okay. So, we can work together and, as I say, hopefully make it a good venture and everything, and bring it back again for future years.
Absolutely, thank you.
Councillor Wright?
Very nice to see something actually happening like this on Country Park, and I think it's going to be a really good advertisement for Farley, and I think it's something really good. We're starting to something new.
Thank you.
Yeah, very good.
Anyone else? I see you sorry, Councillor Haxby.
No, it's been said that we need to take advantage of the size and the location of the country park. We've always said it. Unfortunately, we've always come across the block of Scarborough Council. And it would appear this time we might have got through that block. And, you know, we're better, to be fair. I think it's a fantastic proposal. And I would support it 110%. It's something that we desperately need in Farnham.
Anyone else? I see in this information given us, it says motor TV dedicated channels.
Yes,
Is that a given or is that a wish?
No, that generally, it's still in the infancy, obviously, because they're not starting talking about next year's championships and everything, they're just negotiating deals and everything. But generally speaking, there's an half-hour programme on the championship events, which goes out on Motors TV and various other channels. And thankfully, a personal friend of mine does it, so I can say to him, right, do what you can for us, Paul. I think what we've got to do also is, throughout the year, find somewhere on the seafront which has got something, a good backdrop of Farley, so that when it is on the TV, people can say, this is what Farley's all about.
Anything else? So can I take it that this council will support in principle this event taking place? Place your hands on that. Unanimous support.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much indeed. Yes? You're quite free to stay and listen to the rest of our meeting.
You'll sleep a lot better.
Item 8 on our agenda is the Fire Sports Provision Project. Now, you've all received some information on that. Anybody got anything to say? Questions? Yes, we've left the paperwork about that.
Yes, it's quite a lengthy document of the consultation summary, which was really quite positive, and that members of the public really got behind this consultation and supported this project. So that was really encouraging for the working party to move forward now and build up, drawing a business plan. So that's what the Board Academy are intending to do.
Any comments? Councillor Anthony?
I fully support this, but I got the impression, looking at most of the feedback on here, that they would have got a lot more support. I know adding a swimming pool would be controversial, but a lot of people were very disappointed that they couldn't incorporate a swimming pool.
Yeah, I'm going to come back on that. The council has been down that road and in going through a sports needs analysis, and because of the number of swimming pools in the area, that wouldn't be supported to the funding bodies like Sport England. We wouldn't support that. So we have explored that option quite thoroughly, and probably Councillor Cockrell might want to just come in on that, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it has been explored, as the clerk said, the independent report doesn't provide the justification for it when you're applying to the funding bodies, Sport England. Very regrettable.
Can I suspend standing orders and allow a member of the public to speak, and then I'll bring Councillor Astor back in.
Can I just say something? When we first came to Farley, one of the things that drew me to it, when I looked on the town map, was a swimming pool, because I'm a big swimmer, of course, when I got out, it was shut. So I started to look around for a proper swimming pool, and I totally disagree, there isn't a proper pool. The nearest one's Malta, which I go to. Proper pool, not a little pool, proper pool. So, I know it's not your fault. I disagree. Yeah, Scarborough's got not too bad. It's not very big. It's not big, it's expensive.
Are you meaning the new one? Or the
No, the old one was £5 a go.
Yeah, there's a new one coming in spring.
Well, that's going to be a major problem. I was a few slides.
Well, that's-
That's not a problem.
Okay, Councillor Haxby, I was reinstate standing orders, and Councillor Haxby.
What does worry me, I read through some of the comments, and one of them was, I'm upset because I was made to fill this in at school. Now, if every pupil at the school was made to fill this in, there are 500 kids, and there was only 1,000 responses, so at least 50% on that premise were the kids at the school, which I think is a bit biased and skewed. And is that the case, or was it just the odd few that were asked to fill it in? But it definitely said, I was made to fill it in at school. Now, was that every pupil, a few pupils, or what? Because if you read some of the comments, they're definitely from kids. I prefer to spend all night watching Xbox and things like that. And I just felt it was a bit off that sort of comment should have been made. I mean, the kids maybe should have been given the paper, but not made to fill the paper. Under duress by the sound of it, because I can't find it, it's in one of the comments. You know, and I'd just like to verify that that was an isolated case and they weren't actually made to fill them out. Because as I said, there are 500 kids at the school with only 1,000 responses. So potentially there's 50% of that kids that have been made to fill it in, which makes it potentially worthless to go.
Well, taking analysis of the age groups, I think.
I think it was put out on the school's intranet.
Well, no, it actually said I was made to fill it in. And even, you know, if you're made to fill something in, you don't necessarily put the right things in there. Age, you can put 50, 60%, it doesn't matter.
Can we query that?
Well,
Yeah.
I'd just like to make sure that it was
Well,
done.
we'll stop querying about that one then.
Yeah.
Councillor Shepperson?
Yeah, I'd just like to agree with Councillor Axe on some of the comments. You know, don't care, do what you like. You know, we've been fighting for this for Firely for many years, well, certainly as long as I've been on the council and before. So, you know, I suppose I was quite hurt and shocked by some of the comments that people put. You know, saying you get paid enough, you'll do what you want anyway. Well, Firely Town councillors don't receive pay. Were they talking about us or the road councillors?
It's a difficult thing to do, I know, but we've had the consultation results and we'll take these queries back to the next meeting. Any more comments? We'll move on. Thank you very much for the evening. We accept that report. All in favour of accepting that report? Thank you very much. We move on to item 9 on the agenda, to receive items from previous minutes which require further consideration. Minute number 853/016, which is the sale of the land at South Dean Parish. Now, you just received a letter this evening, so I'll give you a chance to read that relating to item 8, 9A.
I have tried to update it on tablets as well, so you've got the choice to read it on the tablet or by saying
You've got a paper copy, 9A, my love. It was put on your desk. It's cool, it is on your tablet.
Yeah.
Councillor Cockle, would you like a paper copy?
I've got a sec.
It's come up on yours, but...
Yeah. Hasn't, is it not yet? No, it's all right, I'll sort it. I can't read it. All right.
You're okay, Councillor?
Yes, thank you.
I'll give you a couple of moments to read this.
point number 2, which is overvalued on the income-based valuation. Well, we all know that the Borough Council have no idea how many people are using those tennis courts because they didn't charge, nobody was there to monitor it. They have no idea whatsoever on the usage. So to say the usage was low is totally incorrect. But we have no means of proving that either. But it's just another example of the borough not having a clue on how many people are using their facilities.
Councillor Shepherd?
Yeah, I'd just like to agree there, again with Councillor Luke. It's a good job that they capitalised some, was it just £1 or a peppercorn rent, or perhaps they may have given the land away.
Councillor Haxby?
Is there any reason why the borough's receiving such bad press recently over this and everything? Because the things that happen in Seaford are unbelievable. We're not asking for details of the tender submissions, we just want the value. There is absolutely nothing private or confidential about knowing what value was placed on it by the tenderers. We don't want to know who they were, what the details were. All we know is what the valuations were that the tenderers put on it. How can that be private and confidential if you don't know who made it? I agree with number 2. They should have got the maximum potential money from that site for the benefit of Highly, not accepting such a stupid, low, ridiculous amount. If we go on to number 5, of course the aspiration of the tennis club is to grow, but they're making it such that the public can only join the tennis club to get a game of tennis. It's not the fact that people want to join, it's the fact they're having to join to get a game. Because Dylan's wrong in this, he's saying that it's available 24 hours a day. It isn't, because the public cannot turn those lights on. So the public cannot use those courts on an evening without those lights being on at the beginning and end of the summer period. And who turns them on? The actual mechanism is in the tennis club. So he's absolutely, totally wrong there, and I want to write back and tell him that. Ask him how the hell you play at dusk or dawn when the light's fairly low without having the lights on. And how the hell is he going to turn the lights on? So he's absolutely, totally wrong there. It's just the usual follow up again, Scarborough Borough Council attitude.
Councillor Howland, please?
If anyone was going to sell tennis courts as building land, it's totally different valuation. You know, you don't sell it for what it's worth as a tennis court. You have it revalued as building land, which is a different equation completely.
Can we not raise that? Can we raise that point? Any more comments on this?
I'll propose that we write back to Mr Dillon, bringing those points up with a copy to Mr Hollinger,
Okay.
just to show him what loop of stupidity we get drawn into.
We're all in favour of that course of action? Okay. Everybody? Okay, so that's the letter. Mr Hollinger copied it. 9B is to receive a response from Mr Hollinger, which is all out there, which is for information only. Yes? You okay there? Everybody read that response? Thank you very much. Right, C, minute number 878/016, removal of telephone kiosk on Cross Drive Filing. Received verbal information from the clerk.
Yes, when I looked into this telephone box wasn't one of the old red telephone boxes. It was one of the more modern flat-shaped box. So you can't actually, the company can't actually adopt that kind. But if you so wished, you can actually purchase them refurbished. It will go back to a company and you can buy them from the company. But they're in the region of approximately £600, and then you would need planning permission to cite it. So I felt probably you wouldn't want to go any further with that, but
Councillor Wright?
If it was a red one, that'd be different game altogether.
yeah.
But why do we want to purchase a modern one? We don't do it.
No, we were under the impression it was a red one, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, the only people I think would be interested is the museum. Would be interested in having one in their place, but that's entirely up to them, of course. But you know, but we would want a red one. We would want a modern.
You can buy red ones as well.
Back on that.
We thought it was under the adoption scheme, but it
Yeah.
wasn't actually a red telephone box. So I apologise for that. That wasn't clear.
I'll bring Councillor Walker for a moment.
I can definitely say that the museum would not be interested in this type of telephone box.
No.
Definitely.
Okay. Thank you very much for that information, Gina. 10 on the agenda is to receive items from previous minutes which may not require further discussion. Thank you very much. 11 on the agenda is minutes to receive and, if approved, to sign the minutes of the following and to make resolutions where necessary on the recommendations thereon. A is the ordinary council meeting held on the 9th of November 2016. Can the member to move those minutes, please? Thank you. Are we all in agreement? Thank you very much. B is the Strategic Planning Committee meeting held on the 10th of November 2016. Recommendation on minute number 899/016 and 900/016. First of all, I'd like to give you that this is a true and accurate record of that meeting.
Okay.
Thank you very much. And the recommendation 899/016 is the recommendation be made to full council that standing order 12E be changed to the above wording, and that this item should stand adjourned for 1 month and be considered by the full council on the 11th of January. You've seen that resolution. Do we all agree? Show of hands, please. Thank you very much. Resolution number 900/016. The recommendation be made to full council that the revised draft laptop and mobile device policy be accepted and a declaration be signed by all members and staff of the Town Council who are issued with a laptop or mobile device to agree and comply with the content of the policy. All in favour? Thank you very much. C. Finance and General Purposes Committee meeting held on the 16th of November 2016. Recommendations on minute number F910/016, F911/016, F914/016, F915/016 and F919/016. Councillor Shepperton, please.
Thank you, Chair. First I'd like to say that these are true meeting.
You'll accept that? Thank you very much.
Right, minute number F910/016. This is as David Latham's internal audit report, which once again was good. He didn't find anything to upset him. However, as you see from the minute, he has had discussions with the RFO on how to meet the legal requirements, and he suggested a 4-step process, which includes myself as chairman, and to review the bank reconciliations on a monthly basis. Basically, it's just checking up on David Latham and the RFO, and then the 4th step is for the full committee to pass them. So the recommendation is that we make full council that the internal audit report for the second quarter 2016-17, including the 4-step process for bank reconciliations, be accepted. We all accept that? Thank you very much. Unit number F911/016, second quarter budget report. Again, you've all got the minute, and that recommendation is to be made to full council that the second quarter budget report for 2016-2017 be accepted.
All in favour? Thank you very much.
Minute number F914016, Queen Street Garden. There again, I think members thought that Queen Street Garden is possibly going to run away with quite a bit of money, so I'm sure that the Finance Committee, along with the Property Committee, will work together and try and keep costs as low as possible. The recommendation this evening is to be made to full council that option 1 for the Queen Street Garden procurement be accepted.
All in favour? Thank you very much.
Minute number F915016, grant award 2016-17. As we all know, Filey Lions received a grant this year for the fireworks display, which they sadly had to cancel. We received a very nice letter from the president of Filey Lions Club. We do have to stick with rules, and that is that if money is not spent for the purpose, that must be returned to the council.
We were told today, Councillor Casey is declaring an interest in this one.
Right.
Being a member.
Personal.
So the recommendation this evening to be made to full council is that the Filey Lions Club be requested to repay their awarded grant for the community bonfire and fireworks display in 2016. Minute number F919016, the office photocopier lease. It's a renewal. I'm sure that the town clerks worked extremely hard and squeezed every penny out of the poor salesman as usual. So the recommendation this evening is to be made to full council that the contract be awarded to Danwood Group Limited for the supply of an office photocopier on a 5-year fixed price lease as per the quotation supplied at the cost of £136.21 per quarter. Colour copy at 3.68p per copy and mono copy at 0.41 per copy, including A3 charge, same price as A4, to include all consumables, maintenance, installation and trading costs. Do you all accept that?
Thank you very much.
That's it for now, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Shackleton. Item B, Planning Committee meeting held on the 28th of November 2016. Councillor Wilkie, please. Sorry. Councillor Walker, please.
Yes, would members accept this as a true correct record?
All in favour?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. E, Finance and General Purposes Committee meeting held on the 30th of November 2016. Councillor Shackleton again, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to move these to true correct record.
Do you all accept that? Thank you very much indeed. 12 on the agenda, report from working party meetings. To receive and accept reports from the following meetings and receive any recommendations thereon. Filey Town Centre working party meeting held on the 1st of December. Councillor Casey, please.
So I'd like to put this forward as a true and accurate record of that meeting.
You all accept that?
And there are no recommendations as far as I remember. So, unless there's any questions?
Anyone have questions for this? This is a new working party, don't forget it's just in its infancy, so if any members have got any queries as to what the aims of this group are, please ask, or you are welcome to come along and join the next meeting just to see what we're up to. Councillor Wilkie?
Did it come from the Chamber of Trade? Any chance about that? It just says Filey Chamber of Trade meeting would not till 7th of December about the pedestrianisation.
Yeah, were you at the
I was.
Chamber of Trade meeting?
Yeah.
Because I had a free alternative.
They are going to actually write and ask you to come and do a presentation because it wasn't that well received.
In the January meeting.
The January.
Yes? All happy with
Filey Tourism Association were keen to get on board and work with us.
I'm sure I probably will do when you explain it. I just don't think Omar was quite aware of
Yeah.
it. As respect to Omar.
Any more comments on that? Thank you very much for that report, Councillor Casey. We'll move on to 13. Finance, to receive and approve the schedule of payments for the following accounts. General Fund, A, 10th to the 30th of November 2016. Now you've had a copy. Any questions on that?
Chair.
I'll accept that report.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. 13B is the 1st to the 14th of December, which is included in your
It's
tablet, and you've had a paper copy this evening.
It's on the calendar.
Any questions on that? Councillor Nick?
Queen Street Garden water supply.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a burst pipe.
No.
It's on in charge, and it's £5.82.
It's usually all the damage charges, no, you're
Standing charge, a cheeky.
It costs, actually, we've looked into it, and it costs a lot more to actually have the supply taken out than the unit, and it would to pay the standing charge.
I can take it out for you, if it's a hammer.
Do you accept this financial report? Thank you very much indeed. We move on to 14. Reports from councillors on outside organisations. To receive and accept reports. A. To receive reports from Councillor Holden Banks. Discover filing. Councillor Holden Banks.
Thank you. I have this time put in minutes, which I'm sure you've all plowed your way through. There is a new board, and the new board members are actually on here for you to have a look at. And also I was asked if I could possibly put forward, which I'm sure you've all got a copy of, regarding the new chap, Paul Griffin, of his ideas, and he would actually like to come and do a small presentation at some time, which I do believe is going to organise with Gina. Other than that, it's all pretty much what's on your paperwork. They are moving forward as best they can. They would like more board members.
Any questions, Councillor Holden Banks?
And then on the other one, which is the Flat Cliff, which I'm sure you're all very aware of, that they've had the offer of 600,000 grants to go towards the road. Overall good news, and some of the residents of Flat Cliff have actually been and seen me, and they're delighted with all that everybody has worked together to get this to come to fruition, and they're also writing to Kevin Holland-Wright to thank him for his input.
Councillor Wilkie?
Yeah, sorry, Chair. Can I just go back to the discussion?
Oh yeah, of course you can.
You were a bit too quick on. Just about presentation, but we did ask them to come with some more regular presentations, didn't we, when we had a bit of the while last year. So maybe we can try and get that a bit more regular now we've got a new board. And
I think you wanted to come to this one, didn't they? There was already a presentation with the sports, with the car people.
I did liaise with Mr.
Yes,
Davis, but
yes.
they're not actually quite ready yet with the proposal. I think they want to agree the proposal amongst themselves. They have got some draft plans, but possibly the January meeting is that's acceptable.
maybe just going forward from now on, try and encourage them to be a bit more.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Councillor Wilkie. Thank you. Anything else, Councillor Holden Banks, from those two reports? Councillor Walker, do you wish to say something?
Yes, I'm going to do a verbal one because I haven't had a chance to write it up. It was this afternoon at 3 o'clock was my visit. It was British Legion. The money that's brought in up to now is 13,850. They're hoping when everything else comes in, it'll make up to 14,000, which is a record for them, for actual collecting. Okay. They are definite, pardon?
This is from the Poppy appeal.
This is from the Poppy appeal, yes. This, definite. So that fortnight is a Poppy appeal, yeah. As you all saw, that silly umpire band jumping in halfway around on the parade, will not be coming back again. They will not be coming back again. They're looking elsewhere for other things to happen. Okay? And that's about it from that today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd just like to firstly congratulate the RBL this year. I thought it was a fantastic service.
Yes, it was.
Absolutely fantastic, from start to finish.
The time and to have the sea cadets there. And to listen to the drumming, it was just amazing.
Perhaps a letter of thanks from this council to the
Only say
members
that.
of Association.
With a congratulations on that record amount being made.
You'd like me to send you that? Everybody in agreement?
Yeah. I volunteered for a couple of days up in Bedford to tell the poppies, and it was such a lovely afternoon just to sit there and chat to people, and absolutely great, you know, sterling work and so it's very worthwhile.
I'd just like to say, Chair, that I also sat in Tesco's, and you learn more sat there than I ever did at the library. You know, sat there for 2 hours each day.
Absolutely.
So perhaps we should move it.
Move it, yeah, good. Yeah. No, it was lovely, and everybody was so supportive, and especially the little kiddies. They were just amazing, you know, and the variety of merchandise that is on offer is just amazing. So yes, we'll just express our thanks. 15 on the agenda, North Yorkshire County Council to note matters not previously reported or reported elsewhere. So we've had a report from Councillor Cross. You've only received that this evening, I do believe.
And there's also, through your chat, a response from Mr. Andrew Sanford, which is quite encouraging, that the road closure has been applied for Crescent Hill. And we'll start on the 9th of January. It's going to be an 18-month road closure. They won't need 18 months, but we do apply for that. Doesn't mean to say it's going to start on the 9th of January either, but,
No.
but they are getting on with that. So
I'll give you a couple of minutes to read Councillor Cross's minutes. Any comments? Councillor Haxton.
Just his comment too, the railings on Church Green have been completed and will be painted when weathered. I thought the idea of painting was to stop them weathering and preserve them, not let them start to rot and then paint. Or am I missing a trick somewhere?
Can I just bring Councillor Coupland?
Well, why do you have to
Bring Councillor Coupland in on that.
Yeah, just on that one, is it galvanised? Yeah.
It looks to be.
Does it help with that?
Well, it looks to be.
Right, I'm saying-
I hope they aren't just letting it weather. It wants properly treated before they paint it with more than tea wash. Otherwise the paint will just flake off.
Councillor Mead?
Once again, there's no replies to my questions that I asked him last time I was here. I don't know if you're just ignoring or what.
Send those messages again. Councillor Sheffield.
It's unlike me to defend Councillor Cross, but I think he's just having a bit of a bad time at the moment.
Yes.
And I think our thoughts should be with Sam and his family over the Savos and his sister.
Any more comments? B, 15B. The A1039 Scarborough Road file is received that for information only on the proposed scheme for 2017-2018 that we've all had a copy of. So For information only, we haven't got any permits. No. It will be done. Councillor Hackstead?
The wiper I purposefully drove up yesterday right from bottom to top, and to be fair, the worst section of that road is from Scarborough Road roundabout to the end of Groville Road.
The bit they aren't doing, in other words.
The bit that the purposefully missing out. And to be fair, it is bad. It is getting terrible. Yeah, that bit from Groville Road to the top, to be fair, is not in that bad a nick. But the bits that have been patched and bumped and is a bit from Scarborough Road, well, in fact, from Haxby's old grocer's shop right the way around to Groville Road is the worst it's ever been. So why the hell they pick the best bit to repair, I don't know. I'd just like to ask that question. I wish Sam was here and probably tell me.
Well, we can email Sam, can't we? With that.
Well,
We'll go to Mr. Stanton for that. And answer that. Councillor Wilkie?
Yeah, just on that one, apologies if I've missed it at a previous meeting, who's requested that area to be?
It must be in the general routine maintenance. It's not been put forward. We haven't.
So even if it's in the general maintenance and it doesn't need doing, they'll still carry on and do it when there's other areas that actually need doing a bit more. I don't know how it works.
I'll bring Councillor Coffin in the morning.
What county do, they have a vehicle that just drives around all day, all week, all year, scanning road surfaces.
Right.
And it's done, like digitally, and then they analyse it. I totally agree with Council Haxby, they got it totally wrong.
Yeah. Well, I came down the same and I thought, well, it's not that bad, that bit.
When I saw it, I couldn't believe it.
There's other parts of the town, maybe not on the main roads, but a lot more is needed.
We'll pose the question to Councillor
Yeah, I just wondered who decided.
Okay. We'll move on to 16, Scarborough Borough Council, to note matters not previously reported or reported elsewhere on this agenda. A, to receive verbal and written report from Borough Ward Council. Councillor Coffin.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yes, you've got the written one. A few updates. On the sports costing, I've actually written to Andy Galbraith clarifying and expanding that template I provided for the costings, because there's some big lumps that want splitting. The flood alleviation scheme, Cabinet approved that yesterday. That now goes to full council on the 9th of January. Your last meeting you said about doing a newsletter. I think I would prefer to wait until it's gone through Cabinet and the land transactions are all finalised, and we've had the meeting with the developers and we know an actual start date, and then it's a one and for all. We've also applied to the Yorkshire Water Environment Enhancement Fund for some assistance to see if we can do something rather than just grassing the bunds, to do something with a bit of interest. But we're waiting to hear about that. On street trading policy, as I said in the written statement, I did ask some questions. I got what I consider to be totally unsatisfactory answers, and I suggested that further work was required before it went to council, and this was supported. It was largely about enforcement.
Councillor Wilkie, please.
Just about the street trading, obviously it's been a long running thing and tried before, haven't you, to try and standardise something. Is it going to be considered in the proposals sort of a balance between enforcing it, getting it people to conform, and obviously trying to help them with the businesses as well? Do you know what I mean? Or is it going to be either you can have it or you can't?
No.
Is that
the basis of the policy is, because at the moment there's a mismatch. There's some permitted streets, some consented streets, some prohibited streets. This policy proposes that all streets across the borough are prohibited, but you can apply for a licence to trade, and of course there will be strict criteria. As regards the enforcement, that was the big bugbear. because it was almost a case it was going to be done on 5 days a week. That was the implication because of staffing, and which I and others said that was just totally a waste of time, and so they're going back. They also stated that it was a progressive offence, shall we say, and that you'd build up 3 strikes and you're out. I asked whether previous complaints would be taken into consideration. Bear in mind, we've been on with this for years with a certain trader, and I didn't get an answer really on that. It was stressed that street trading applies to, because I asked whether it applied to Borough Council car parks, and I was told that it didn't, because the street trading and the definition of street is anywhere that the public have free access. You could argue, well, the pedestrians got free access. But anyway, car parks aren't included because you pay. And when I asked the question, well, what about when it's free out of season? There was a bit of a gobsmacked look. I wish I'd had my camera. Anyway, long story short, it's going back. Officers and a couple of cabinet members are working on it before it goes to the council. So I'm not holding a breath that it will be effective.
Yeah. So you mentioned a licence. Would there be a charge for that licence too?
There will be a charge, and quite a hefty charge. Off the top of my head, I think it was £600. But for any charity or organisations like that, it will be a lower charge. That's what was in the proposal. It's not been approved.
I think my concern is, it's difficult enough in private businesses as it is. Without, yes, you can get. We know that it's getting too much and too far, but I think if you just say, well, if you want it, you got to have a licence. It's just not going to help businesses at all. So that's why I was asking: is there trying to consider a bit of a balance between one and the other? And then, like I say, how do you enforce that?
To me, the enforcement's a big thing.
I'd like to see a balance between the two, not either you are or you're not, because it's hard enough for businesses in this town.
We'll have to wait until a new paper comes out.
Councillor Wright?
Could I ask, have you done any consultation with the Chamber of Trade?
There's been no consultation done as far as I'm aware.
That's really great, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it should let's just impose it on them.
I don't think they're aware, have they?
We'll get them aware, because I bet there'll be a big meeting. Make them aware.
The first time, whilst we knew it was going, it was in the forward plan to come forward. The first any of us really saw was when it came out, a week ago.
Councillor Mick?
When you said 3 strikes and you're out,
that was a terminology, I'm not saying it was.
No, but if they do adopt that policy, if say a business has got 2 against it already, then that business changes hands, name only.
I know
it wants to be considered to go back to 0. Just
it's a fair play
against the
I'll make a note.
Yeah.
Anything else? No? Thank you for that, Councillor Cockrell.
There's your salmon licences, any update on that?
No, meetings were going to be held. Kevin should have been early this month, and then Kevin Hollyrek couldn't make it, and then he couldn't make the revised one, and then Rex is away on holiday, and I think it's about February now.
If we'll stay there, because we're coming up to something else that we're inquiring on.
Right.
16B is designation of a neighbourhood development plan area in response to the request received from Farleigh Town Council to receive report from Farleigh Town Council to draw up a neighbourhood plan for the whole of the Farleigh parish area. Gina, I'll pass over to you.
Yes, this expression of interest has been accepted by the Borough Council, and the Strategic Planning Committee in conjunction with the Planning Committee now need to formulate a plan to commence drawing up a neighbourhood plan with community involvement. The press did report this very inaccurately, and it sounded as if the plan had been created when in fact it's only in the very initial stages. I have actually spoken with the locum clerk at Caton Parish Council, and he suggested perhaps they're starting off with their plan as well. It might be possibly some collaboration to work together. It might be beneficial, you know, if you were looking to appoint any consultants or anything, it might work to the favour of both councils. But that's for the committees to sort of look at.
Very, very early stage.
It is. The paper actually got, wasn't a picture of fire,
Rather that.
Yeah.
Councillor Wilkins.
Are they going to correct that, Regina, or not?
No, we don't correct a lot.
No, I don't think so.
We'll put a bit of in next time.
Okay then. Thank you very much for that, Gina. Fees and charges. Beach shower services, Barley Bridge Caravan Park, leisure amenities, beach, sports areas, Redroad Centre, etc. To receive proposed fees and charges for 2017-18, you've had a copy. Have we got any comments? It's easy to look at on paper, I didn't know that. Well, it's like everything else, I don't think there's much in this world going down, is there?
My bank balance, Chair.
Oh, true. Now. Any comments? Councillor Wilkie?
It's just a question. I think we've brought this up, or maybe you can answer. Right? About the you go down on the seafront, you see chalets closed up empty. Obviously, someone's taken it for the year, waiting to whether they come or not. I know there's people that do want, and they're on the waiting list. How long does the borough, or do they care whether that list, people on that list, get a chance ever? You know, do they review the list and say, well, yeah, I don't know how you would do that.
I don't know. I presume the monitoring, you know, people just move up.
Yeah.
I know at times you walk along the UC wall and it's so annoying to see so many chalets shut up.
How do you monitor it? You know, will the guys that are down there be able to monitor it?
But even if you monitor it, what do you do?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is there anything you can do? You know, but
you can't say you've got to occupy so many days a week or anything like that, can you?
how does that process?
It's their choice.
So when the renewals are up, though, how does that process work? Do those people that have already got them get a letter and get the first bite of it?
Yeah, they just renew.
See, that's the issue. See, it's already done before anybody else knows that it's up for renewal.
Yeah. It's the old thing waiting for dead man's shoes.
Yeah.
Any more comments?
No.
No, okay then. We'll move on to being D, list of derelict properties. To receive updated list of derelict properties from Scarborough Borough Council for consideration thereon. You've all seen a copy, and whatever comments there is from SBC. Any comments on this? Councillor Anthony?
I just found this incredible, the way that most of them, it just says unable to take further action. There's such a thing as called the Town and Country Planning Act, Section 215, which has been used, invoked by other authorities very successfully. Why is Scarborough Borough Council not able to do this?
You can raise that question then?
I just can't remember what the response was. Can
you leave that? We've got Councillor Wilkie and Councillor Waxby.
Can I make a suggestion, something like that? Maybe you should ask our ward councillor who's on the planning at Scarborough to take that. Councillor Hans.
Councillor Hackney, Councillor Wright?
It's just this 50 Queen Street, I think, it's the one on the corner here, isn't it? There were problems with the glass falling out of the windows, I know that for a fact, but how can they say, if there's masonry falling off the building, that the environmental regulation team, the public health team, the public safety team have no involvement? Surely it's somebody's involvement to prevent Joe Public from getting a half Henry falling on their head. You know, they've got to have an involvement somewhere along the line. If the building's dangerous, the masonry's falling off it, who on earth do you go to if it's not Scarborough Borough Council Environmental Health?
Right, I've got Councillor Wright and Councillor Casey, and then Councillor Anthony.
What amuses me about this is, every single one of them, because no complaints have been received since 2015, so no action to be taken. Well, so therefore we'll complain every month. You know, we'll complain every 6 months or whatever to keep the complaints up to date. To me, it looks as if they're taking an easy route out. Oh, well, nobody's complained since 2015. There's no wrong with them now. But yes, there is. So we should have to complain every year, at least, so that it keeps us up to date.
Point taken. Councillor Casey?
Well, it's straightforward, isn't it? There's no unable to take any further action, as Councillor Anthony says. There's no point having a list if that's going to be the answer on every single thing. And I know for a fact also, having worked in Bradford, that there are powers to really donate properties, and councils have got access to those powers. So really we should be asking why they're not doing it.
Councillor Anthony?
Can I just read from the section 215 notices, best practice guide. Section 215 has been used effectively on large vacant industrial sites, town centre street frontages, rural sites, derelict buildings and semi-complete developments, as well as more typical rundown properties, residential and overgrown gardens. So, you know, there is absolutely scope there to do something, and it's not particularly about complaints, it's a visual assessment of what is out there.
Okay then, we'll pursue this again then, Gina. All in favour of that?
Could we send them the relevant legislation in case they've never heard of it?
Can I bring in Councillor Thompson, please?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank everybody for that support, because as you know, there's one or two of those who are quite near me and that are an absolute disgrace. I've been on about it. Just taking John's point about what used to be Ben Burton's, it's an organisation which the Borough Council contributes to. There's something like the North Yorkshire Partnership, which are at Easingwood, and they're almost like the building regs people. And when there was the Alfreda Terrace thing 3 years ago, Big, they were the ones that came across and said, that building is unsafe, it has to be demolished. I'll try and find out a contact here where Gina can contact.
Could I just probably make a suggestion? Would it be something the Town Centre Working Party can take this forward and ask for, I think it's Jonathan Bromley, to come and meet you on site to look at these properties? Would that be, yeah?
Don't get into wasted.
No.
Councillor Meek, do you wish to say something?
Let me do something.
I spoke to someone about a garden and we walked it, and there was an elderly lady and said, no, not to do with it, was private property. So, according to that, they should have done something about it.
Any more comments on this? Quite happy to keep badgering away at this?
Yes, yeah.
More than happy.
Certainly will.
Okay, Gina? 16E is proof this building against seagull nests. We received letter for information from Scarborough Borough Council. So this copy is going to be sent out to all households, as I understand it.
I think so, yes, it's been, I don't believe that one, yeah.
All information on it, it's all explanatory. Tell you what you can do and what you can't do. Item 17 is bathing water in Yorkshire. A, to receive report from the Environmental Agency for consideration, we've had a copy. And B, to receive a briefing note from Councillor. Can I ask you to take, could you look, Councillor Cockrell, and we'll discuss anything together.
I think it's fairly self-explanatory, Madam Mayor. I mean, I put my briefing note out following the publication of the results, largely because I wanted to inform members and also stress that the ongoing work wasn't as a knee-jerk reaction to the publication of the poor results. Those are the facts. One thing I will just say, if you remember the last meeting, I said I was trying to get some funding for some capital equipment. I'm pleased to say I have got that, and that will be going to the partnership to put some more data gathering equipment in.
Councillor Maxfield?
I mean, whilst it might not be totally a knee-jerk reaction, it has been kick-started by these recent results, because when I worked for them back in 2000 and God knows when, Filey was a concern, and Scarborough South Bay has been a concern for donkey's years, absolute donkey's years. It's been worse than the North Bay. And nothing has really been done in the last 10 years. Other than a bit of work on some storm overflows. So, you know, it's not unexpected, I agree. It's not unexpected. But I think it's focused the minds a lot more than it has been. And I just hope as much effort is put into Filey as appears to be proposed for Scarborough to sort their problems out. And that we do get some typing back to test taken, DNA tests. Not
at the moment there's no talk of doing that DNA testing like they're doing between Jackson's Bay and Cornelia. But certainly as regards putting sondes in, yes.
Anything
And
else?
some more CCTV servers.
Anything else on this bathing water? Thank you very much for that. We move on to 18, public question and answer sessions. To receive feedback from Councillor Holden Banks and Councillor Casey from the session held on the 16th of November. Over to you, please.
Well, I'll start.
Well, it won't open on the tablet, that's all. Look at my paper. That one.
I'm just getting sorry you don't have
Yeah,
that.
so I've just had to leave my paper copy now.
Right. Access required, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
doing that too.
I've got it.
The
The only reason I've got it, I've put a response in for acceptance.
Did you click
So did I.
request
So did
access?
I haven't got it.
If you live at Walton, you get it.
Those that requested it, and it takes them.
You can't see the number for the trees at Walkdale.
Okay, so you've all had the
I've got the paper.
copy anyway, so.
Well, I stood into the breach to assist Councillor Holden Banks on the afternoon. I couldn't do the evening, and we had 4 visitors. It's self-explanatory really. We were quite busy really, from the incoming about 13:40, so we actually worked overtime and didn't get away well. 2:30.
You get paid?
No, we do it for love. And as you can see, there's quite a lot to read there. And then I'll pass you on to Jackie for evening.
Yes, and I had an evening conversation with Mr. John Mook, who had an awful lot of questions to ask. And I then emailed Councillor Cockrell, and he very diligently rang up and spoke to the gentleman, I think that day, did you not, Councillor Cockrell, or within a very short period of time, And Councillor Cockle emailed me back letting me know he'd spoken with the gentleman in question and had helped him as much as was appropriate to do so. So he was answered very quickly with his questions, which I didn't know the answers to.
Thank you very
The
much.
other thing was, we would actually have liked to have spoken to somebody from the police today regarding one of the ladies, Patricia Lynn, who was very, what would you say, she was upset. She was quite forward with what she wanted to ask, wasn't she, and how she felt there wasn't the response from the private police regarding youth at Rose Garden. Just keep moving them on isn't the answer when you live around there.
And she felt that she wasn't taken seriously by the police. I actually addressed the situation with Sergeant Godwin.
Oh, did you?
And yeah, sorry I didn't tell you, but it wasn't satisfactory, let's just say.
She's been there for 7 years as well, and it's content. She does ring 101, and she's worried about the house prices around there because of so many children being around there continuously.
Okay.
But obviously we've got nobody here to ask, have we?
No.
But we could pass this through to Sergeant Godwin as a cause for concern.
Yeah.
Because we all know there's been youth gathering in the road gangs for donkey's years, on and off, they come and they go. But this lady was really, really upset, and she's clearly got a problem, and she feels the police aren't taking her seriously.
And she had loads of lovely things to say about Final Town Council, how much she thinks the council, she started off with that, didn't she, and how much everybody
She
does.
what a fantastic idea.
She's a lovely lady.
Yes, you're saying.
She's a lovely lady.
Oh, do you know her?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful then, you know, I've never met her, she seems
Neighbours.
Councillor Shepherd's not been human.
Yeah, just going on to that point, I know Tricia personally, and as you say, Chair, she's a lovely lady. She first brought this to my attention about 4 years ago,
Oh,
and I had a word with Sergeant Godwin at that time, and his basic reply was, they like to keep on contained. So they know where they are with the CCTV camera. So I had to go back to Tricia and give her that answer.
it's not really.
But I did ask her to ring the police on every occasion when she thought there was something going on.
And she did say she was doing that, but she felt that that wasn't really enough anymore now. And her husband was in, and she was worried about some altercations between some youth and her husband, and it was affecting his health. And so it's obviously historically you've had to deal with it and brought it up, and it's still going on now. So
Well, it's been historical since that shelter was there.
Yeah, they're a lovely, mild, medium
they seem
couple.
lovely.
Really, they don't deserve all that.
No. So, anybody else got any comments on the question and answer sessions? Thank you very much for your time, councillors, doing that. And we'll move on, sorry,
Are we continuing this, or is that it done? Are we voting on that?
we agree not to.
No, we're not doing it anymore. Unless we do it in Tesco.
We'll move on to 19, which is the town clerk's report. So, Gina, I'll pass over to you.
Yes, if we can work from the outstanding list. The students from Ebor will be coming to the January meeting to give a short presentation on the skate park project. So they'll be here. I've not heard any more about the local council parish charter. I don't know how that's progressing. The Tourist Information Centre, we've not heard any more about that either. No more news from people.
May I say something about I don't know any more than anybody else, but the only thing I know is that there's some people that are interested in it have been told that they should be allowed to know details of whether they've been accepted or not, but I can't see how that can be, 'cause it's still up for let. So if it's still up for let, they must still be open to people putting bids in, mustn't they? But a local business person has put in for it, and they have been told that they will be known this week. So.
Okay, Councillor Casey?
Yeah, a few people have said that the council, we wanted to start the council, we wanted to make a decision yesterday and let them know. Now, one of the people who's put an expression of interest in has rung the council on a number of occasions today, and all they get is an answer machine. Left messages, got no response. Which is a bit out of order when they're putting in a tender.
But there's a select still outside, so one would presume you could still put.
No, they just forgot to take us.
And that's whilst it's there, people can still.
Okay, Julie, shall we move on?
Yeah. hill replacement effect, I've already mentioned that. Hopefully by January we should have a date then on the work can start. Stock signage, just monitoring, public question and answer sessions, that can actually come off now, can it? Because it's agreed not to pursue anything over. Same as South Dean Land, we've already discussed earlier in the meeting, until the letters to be sent to Mr Dillon. Public conveniences, not heard anything else from Mr Edwards, whether the building surveys have been undertaken by Mr Dowd yet, so,
Yeah, I was talking doing earlier this week. The condition reports are almost complete. They were waiting for the electrical report to be combined, and then it was sent through to you. I did remind him that it was way past the deadline, and he told me that a report will be going to Cabinet on the 17th of January, and so he was requesting that the Town Council, when they've received the condition report, let him know, possibly by your meeting in the 11th of January.
I didn't like that. Members did request a special meeting for that.
Yeah, we can't do things this month by Scarborough Borough Council. They should have got these reports out to us and then we can act on them. If they're going to delay it, well, they can't expect us to give a reasonable answer in such a short time.
It's too big a decision to do anything in the way.
Right, draft area private road, I have emailed numerous occasions regarding setting up this site meeting, but I've just got no response, so I'm sorry about that, I have tried.
Could I just ask, I'm sorry,
That's all right.
could I just ask, I mean, I suppose all this has gone by the board now, that they used to have a policy where they replied to emails within a certain time. And because of less staff, has that all gone to the board? I mean, the quality of, the council and all the rest of it? Because to not get a reply in 2.5
I have
minutes.
had responses from Mr Stanton stating that he has requested that the Fed officer contact me and set up a site meeting, and it isn't the fault of the Scarborough Council's officers because they've tried to instigate this as well. Mr Thompson's trying to instigate this. But it's just, not had the officer from North Yorkshire County Council coming forward to set this meeting as requested. So.
Councillor Shepperson, did you support something?
No, Marion said everything that I was going to say.
Okay, thank you.
The Everon Centre Property Maintenance have sent another reminder after the November meeting, but as yet I haven't got that information for you, I'm afraid.
I'd just like to ask how many months has that been on now?
August it was on. Yeah.
Oh yes, I see.
And the neighbourhood plan we've already discussed earlier in the meeting. So that's the outcome. Mayoral invitation. Oh, you've got the note, the meeting date, if you could note the meeting date. And I think the Christmas weekend is in fact pretty well, isn't it? Is there any feedback from members on the Christmas weekend?
That's all right.
Yeah, we had a stall in Stone, it was quite busy. I spoke to a couple of people in shops and they were quite happy with, picking enough people being around. I think there was slight hiccups with everything that you run, and people got humble, but I went to the Easter Sunday and the start of Christmas came in and spoke to some kids and they were delighted, so, I think it's a really good start to building up on something to get an every year thing to it. I think It just needs a few tweaks here and there.
Councillor Casey?
The concept's excellent, isn't it? And the hard work put into it by the chair of Farley, the Tourism Association in particular, were quite stunning, I think, and we should send a letter of appreciation, I think, for the effort she's put in. Saturday was fantastic, although I wasn't there, I was one of the other experts lunches, you know. But the feedback is fantastic. Sunday was a bit quiet, it was absolutely freezing.
Very quiet.
But, you know, from little pebbles or whatever they say, it grows and grows and grows, doesn't it? That's the one.
Okay, any other comments on that?
Would you like to send a letter?
Are we happy to send that
Yes.
over to FTA?
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, you've got the mayor and engagement. Busy up to Christmas. It's been a busy month, hasn't it? The Christmas card collection.
Yes, anybody not contributing? Yeah, you're
You
contributing.
have all the thing, yeah. Oh, Kev, that's right, no worries.
Thank you very much, that's going to the RNL line, thank you.
Pass it back, Kev, again.
I'll put the side road.
Been issued with a schedule of meetings with a provisional date up to the end of June. If you'd like to put the dates on your tablet devices.
Sorry?
What are we doing that for us?
June, again, June, did you say June?
On your calendar.
Yeah, June. Did you say June?
To the end of June.
June.
Yeah, for the next yeah.
On that.
That's under the figures, so you just press a button and it does it all for us.
Yeah, that's what I thought the system were going to do.
Who wants everything done?
We will share calendars in the future, but we've got to walk before we can run. I'd just like to thank Paul, Julie and Colin for all the time that they've given us, and I'd like to thank members for bearing with us on this new system. It has been a very steep learning curve. We have had quite a few teething problems which we think we've ironed out now, and I don't know how you found this meeting, have you found it quite easy to work from the links that has anybody had any real problems?
Not that's mine.
Actually, I must admit, I got on from that initial split. And I've been doing was something to give it up and do it. Just show you how to do it.
Well, I'm sure Paul will at
But,
the end of the meeting.
on the other hand, with a little help from my friends here, and a pen typing,
Yeah.
I've got them.
because I haven't got the correct finger apparently.
Neither have I,
No,
Yeah,
that,
very sensitive.
Council Secretary.
No.
That, could I at this point thank Council Secretary, spending most of the morning with me. And it was very good, and I've got through it. I've found everything.
How do you feel? Do you want another month with paper and tablets, or do you want to go paperless next month?
No, I think I'll take this down.
Get input.
Shall we go paperless?
I agree. I've got to vote on it.
We'll go paperless. Are we all in favour of going
All
paperless?
committee meetings as well.
Absolutely.
Committee, full council, working parties.
Everything.
Could I ask you, what happens with things like this?
Well, you can see tonight I've updated things that have come in right up to the last minute and popped them on.
Have you?
Yeah. So,
I don't know.
if there are things that I haven't got time to put on, then I probably will have to just circulate. But the whole idea of it is that you don't have these extra pages, you've got everything to hand on your tablet for every meeting. But it is important that obviously you keep your tablets charged up and ready to use for these. If there's any problems, if anybody's got any problems with the tablet, can you let us know, and Colin and Paul will do the best to sort them out.
I've got quite a list of councillors wanting to come in. I've got Councillor Meek, Councillor Hackney, Councillor Shackleton and now Councillor Casey. Councillor Meek.
I was under the impression when we received an agenda, it would be put into the calendar. Or we received a planning agenda date, and it didn't appear in my calendar.
It's appeared in mine.
That should have done. Right,
What's coming?
I'm sure Colin will sort that out for you.
Once you accept the meeting, it should go into your calendar.
You've got to accept.
You've got to accept.
Yeah, when I opened it up, there was no response at the top.
It should drop down the little box that says
Yeah, you
accept.
just scroll it down.
Then, I did as far as it go.
Did you
Then I
press
came
the
out,
button?
went back in again, and it appeared. So I don't know what went wrong.
Councillor Hackett?
Being a dedicated iPad user, I'm getting used to this now. What I would say is that any documents appear to be better in PDF, Yes.
Right.
because you can expand and
Yeah.
contract them and scroll them without fanning about in Word. So it does a lot better in PDF if you can do that.
Yeah, no problem.
I don't know what Colin and Paul say about that, but it does appear to be a lot better in PDF.
I mean, I can spend some time with you on that thing, because we should be able to create the agenda itself in PDF to make it easier to scroll. The trade-off between PDFs and Word is Word will always open in the browser tab, whereas PDFs require an additional program. But if everybody's okay with the operating and navigating.
Well, that's a personal opinion, I don't, you know,
It might be better to have that consistency, that
Yeah.
all links are PDFs rather than some in Word and some in PDF, probably.
and secondly, looking at the time now, we've been here an hour and a half, and mine's down to 56%. I'm all right, I had a bit of time before, but if we go on to 11 late, sometimes we do, we might have to think about having a load of wander leads and judge and stuff it's about, because they do seem to eat up power at quite a voracious rate.
Mine was fully charged, Chair, and it was at 66, but I didn't have the
I was on earlier, we were.
Weren't we, Diane?
We were really well at 6 o'clock.
Yours is worse than mine, then mine goes down to 72.
And could finally, I just thank Colin and Paul personally for their efforts, and put up with my moaning, and I got a free 10 hours.
Yeah, I did, he did.
Are you bringing the rest next time?
Councillor Chesterton?
No, I'll pass John's,
John said it all, Councillor Casey?
Just a charging issue, I've lost 49% since we've started the meeting.
Right, Councillor Meek?
I don't know how you all downloaded it, but we had 3 documents that actually I saved into Word. I downloaded mine from the bottom of the agenda to the top, and it came out, and then when you put it in like that, you start at the top and work down. And they're all in order.
That's actually downloading your documents to your tablet.
Yeah.
Well, I explained this morning.
I did, but I haven't done that.
No, no,
I
no.
remember how you
I
told
wanted
me.
you just to do
Yes.
what you've done, really.